So this is my vlog for the digital detox project for the media assignment, where we had to go 24 hours or a full day without any kind of media communication, digital, written, visual, any kind. We couldn't interact with it. So I found this incredibly hard, which I'm sure most people did, and it just made it more evident how much we use it in our everyday lives. So I decided to do mine on a Saturday because I had no obligations that day, and I figured it's a weekend, so I'd probably be sleeping a lot. So once I woke up, I found it incredibly hard just to even get out of bed, because I'm used to just, going on my phone as soon as I wake up for about an hour, just scrolling through Facebook, my messages, Twitter, Tumblr, everything. I'm just so used to having that to wake me up. So obviously could not do that. So I found it incredibly hard just to even wake myself up and get out of bed to start the day. So that took longer than usual. But once I was up, I just then realised, now what? I couldn't do what I usually do, which is probably put on some music, get ready, scroll the internet some more on my laptop. But so I decided to clean instead, because my room is pretty messy, and I thought this would be a good way to spend the time. So I cleaned my room, and even just cleaning my room, I realised I usually listen to music when I clean my room. Just put on a song on Spotify, put on a shuffle. So even just that, I realised I couldn't do that, and I realised the cleaning became just 10 times more boring and tedious. So even with my distraction work, I still wanted and needed media there. So after I cleaned my room, which I kind of took my time doing because I knew I couldn't be doing much else, so I hoovered and everything, I decided it was time to make lunch, that was okay because I didn't encounter many forms of media there. There was a few, brand advertising on some packages, but those were kind of unavoidable unless I pre-planned this and set things in boxes, but it was pretty unavoidable. So even when I was making my food, I usually just stand there with on my phone again, just messaging my friends and going on the internet while I wait for the food to finish cooking. So I realised that I spent a lot more time just focusing on the food perhaps, and putting more effort into it, whereas before I'd just let it do its thing and I'll just go on my phone. So in that way, it was kind of unusual for me to be doing things like cleaning and cooking and just not having my phone there, just to go on randomly. It's not like I planned now is my phone time. It just happens. I have it on me, and then I just open a Snapchat or something. What else is there? I found myself bored a lot of the day, and there wasn't much I could do to not be bored. I would obviously usually watch a YouTube video. I do that a lot, put it in the background while I'm doing things. Obviously you could not do that, so I thought, okay, I'll have actual conversations with people. So I went out into the flat and had actual conversations with perhaps people that I've not really talked to much before. So this was really letting me expand that way. And we also, within having conversations in the past, my phone's always there. Honestly, there isn't a time where I'm not with my phone. And so actually having a conversation when your phone isn't there, you realise that normally it's not really a conversation you're having, it's just you're sitting in front of another person on your phone and occasionally talking. So this time we were actually having a conversation, and I was actually listening and responding, as opposed to just nodding along. even when I was just taking my shower, I would usually have music on in the background. And it's crazy to think how often I just have music on, and I don't even think of it as media. I just think, oh, I'm just putting a song on. So thinking of it as media was kind of shocking how much I use it on a daily basis. And also because I use Spotify mostly, they have ads, and obviously this is like a big form of media, having advertisements and promotional things about products, etc. I decided not to leave my flat that day because I knew I'd be just bombarded with media from outside, from posters, and there's so many posters on the spine at that time for like election reasons, and people handing out leaflets, and so that was pretty much unavoidable if I went outside, so I didn't. And even in my room I have these like posters that were probably considered as media, so the day before I actually had to take them down and like hide them, so because they're kind of like visual communication, especially because it's like a movie poster. It was very tempting to just give up. I was thinking to myself, I can just give up and then I'll do this another day, but I persevered. But I just kept wanting to just quickly just check, see if I'm missing anything. So I ended up hiding my laptop, my phone, my iPad, anything digital like that. I ended up hiding it because I knew the temptation was too strong. So I put it somewhere like unreachable, and I told myself I couldn't give up. In conclusion, it's crazy to think how much I rely on anything media related, digital or visual. With social media, it's just such an amazing way to get connected to people straight away, and we're so lucky that we live in a time now where we can just have our friends at a phone call away or a message away, even when they live so far. So I just kept on wanting to message them saying what have I missed and is there anything new, and I just kept on wanting to go onto Twitter, see if there's anything any big stories that I've missed. I don't want to be out of the loop and the next day I have to catch up and everything. And I just kept on wanting the day to end quicker, just so I could go back onto media. So I realised that probably wasn't very successful. I imagine the goal would be to realise you don't need it as much perhaps, and then start using it less, but I felt like I didn't need it more than ever the day after we ended. So with the media immersion the next day, I was straight on my phone for a couple of hours, just scrolling through everything, looking at what I've missed, messaging my friends saying, because they were obviously asking me how was it, and I just kept on messaging them for hours and hours, and that was probably one of my least productive days ever on that immersion day, because I missed the media so much, so I just took advantage of it as much as I could, and I used it pretty much any available time I could, because I was so used to not having it the day before that I just basically took advantage of having it now. So I do realise how much we take advantage of the media we have. It's such a rarity to have instant communication and instant gratification with news stories and celebrity goings on, and it was really, really hard just to be out of that loop. So kind of to sum it all up, it was a very hard experience for me. It was very difficult to get into this state of mind where I knew I couldn't interact with media, and I certainly won't be doing it again. I've always wanted to do it just to see if I could. I thought it could be fun, it wasn't, but it did make me realise the importance of media in our everyday lives and the impact it has on even just our social life. We're meant to be social beings, however with social media you would expect that would be true, but it's actually distracting you more and more from being actually sociable. So it's just a big impact it had on my viewings of media and how much we use it.